If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check the referral links down in the description. They'll take you to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods already, and with the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well. Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again and welcome to episode number 91 of the Career Mode Road to Glory here on FIFA 15. We're playing Southampton again, this time away from home and in the league rather than at home. And in the Capital One Cup, of course, we were unfortunately defeated in the Capital One Cup against the Saints. So I'm hoping for a little bit of revenge here if we can possibly get it. They're starting a very strong side in a 4-3-3 formation, as you can see. A lot more first team names in there than there was the first time we played them. Wilfred Boney up top with Isgrove and Mane outside of him. Tadic, James Ward-Prowse and Morgan Schneidlin in the midfield, so it's going to be a really tough game, and I was expecting, and we got a very, very hard fixture, but we're playing a more recognisable starting lineup for us as well in this one. Of course, both sides in the Capital One Cup fixture played kind of rotated sides due to fitness, so I was hoping that we were going to maybe get some payback here, if not at least get a point, because obviously Southampton are a very, very good team. As you can see, they're going to have the first chance of the game. Isgrove, lovely bit of skill to get past me, plays it into James Ward-Prowse, stands it up. Boney, surely. Can't believe he hasn't gotten that into the back of the net. Clear free header for Wilfred Boney there, and he'll be disappointed with that. So we came up the other end, trying to get ourselves in front if we possibly could. Jenkins Chikoe goes on a nice run. We had skills at one end with Isgrove. We've got skills at the other with Jenkins Chikoe, although, again, this time the goalkeeper comes out on top and no goals. So we're into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Southampton are proving that they can still cause me some issues at the end of the first half, despite the fact that everybody's fitness is starting to get a little bit low. Wilfred Boney goes on a lovely run here, but it's a great block by Lucio Cardoso, and it seems to be a good trait of his so far since he joined the club in the summer. He seems to always be in the way whenever people have shots. He's got fantastic positioning, and he's doing me a lot of favours now at the minute by getting in the way of some shots. But what they didn't get in the way of Southampton was Fabian Cassada. He turns inside the defender with so much ease, and then I don't know where the rest of their defence went, because it was just a case of running in on goal, being one-on-one, and side-footing it into the back of the net. So we're 1-0 up, but they're going to get another chance here. It has to be smartly tipped over the top of the bar by Galese to stop them from getting themselves back on level terms. The man at the back post was going in. I think it was Sadio Mane having the header, but we're on the ball here, but almost get picked off. Then we are able to work it down the left-hand side to a Nicholas Spaller. Obviously, he's got bags of pace, like 92, 93 pace, and he goes for the finesse shot, but Silerson absolutely reads him, and it's a really good save from him. So 10 minutes to go, or just under 10 minutes to go, and Southampton are going to get another chance. Isgrove squeezes it inside to Nathaniel Klein, going to stand it up. Another free header for Wilfred Boney, and another one he's missed the target with. The first one was on target but tame. The second one all on his own with an empty goal in front of him, and he couldn't score. We got the 1-0 win, the 3 points, but we weren't necessarily good value for those 3 points whatsoever. They had so many clear-cut opportunities, only a handful of which I was able to show you in those highlights, and I don't know. I just don't know how we've been able to come away with a win there, but we were hoping to have a decent result here against Derby County. They've only got 5 points from the opening 8 games, and we've got 17, as you can see. So I was hoping for a decent result here if we could possibly get one. I can't remember whether Derby came up with us last year. I don't think they did. I think we came second in the league, didn't we, behind I can't quite remember. Was it behind QPR, and then Norwich came up via the playoffs? So Derby must have already been in the Barclays Premier League when we came up. So I'm not entirely too sure how well we'll get on in this one. They've got Vermeer in goal, of course, the final goalkeeper, and Johnny Russell, Connor Wickham and Paul Coots up top in a 4-3-3 again. We kind of struggled against Southampton's 4-3-3, although obviously the quality of the individuals in this game isn't quite going to be on level playing field with Southampton's, but they were going to cause us some issues in the starting few minutes, and they hit the bar with the free header at the back post this time. Seems to be the way that teams are creating chances against me at the minute. Switch it from one flank to the other and then cross it back in towards the back post, and there's always a man free for a header. Unfortunately for them, unfortunately for me in both games so far, it hasn't cost us, but Fabian Cassada has a really good strike there, and he's so unlucky with the left foot, or with the right foot shot hitting the post, but then unfortunately Benicofobé's shot wasn't necessarily the best one you've ever seen, and that went well wide, but it just drifted away. See how it swerved in the air there from Cassada. Really well struck shot, and the keeper was not getting anywhere near it, but unfortunately it hit the woodwork, and we had to come away with the scoreline remaining goalless. But Aguilar scored a great goal against Norwich the other day. We're hoping he was going to get an assist here, but again Benicofobé's shot not necessarily of the best quality, and unfortunately the keeper made a tidy save this time, and it wasn't necessarily too difficult for him to keep the score at 0-0. Johnny Russell's going to play the ball back into Connor Wickham here. Good shot from him, but again, not the best of finishing. It seems to be a bit of a stalemate here so far. A couple of okay chances, but not necessarily, chances that you would expect players to finish every single time, apart from maybe the header that they hit the bar with in the opening chance. But Spawler races away here. Again, so much pace, but the finish was so bad. So bad. He's got so much pace, though, Spawler. I think it's like 95 acceleration, 93 sprint speed, and obviously I'm going to be utilising that throughout this season and trying to do my best to catch people on the counter-attack with it. But Derby get in behind here with Will Hughes, but I think the defender just gave him a little tug on the shirt there. He didn't go down, and as he took the shot, he was off balance, and it meant that he didn't get enough power behind it, so he stayed at 0-0 again. Chikui stands it up. He's going to drop to Cassidy. He can't get his header on target. Afobia gets a tackle in, but we still can't get a shot on goal. So unfortunately, we get a 0-0 draw from that home game against Derby County. We could have done better in that one, but I guess it kind of counteracts the fact that we really shouldn't have gotten the win in the Southampton game. So, swings and roundabouts, that sort of thing, and we take a point from that one. So 4 points so far from today's episode. We come into quite possibly the toughest game we've played so far this year, against Arsenal away from home. We've played Chelsea at home, and they got a man sent off, and we drew 1-1. We played Liverpool away from home and picked up a defeat, unfortunately, and now we've got to play another one of the big teams in the league away from home at the Emirates. Now, obviously starting an extremely strong lineup. I tried to start the team that I thought was going to do the best against them, but as you can see, a couple of rotation players in there. Panilla on the right-hand side. I moved Jenkins Chikoe into a central role, because obviously Arsenal like to keep possession, and Jenkins Chikoe is one of my better players on the ball, so I put him in a central role just to kind of give me that extra bit of passing ability in the middle as well, because if they're going to play the passes around me, I'm going to need to try and keep possession myself when I do get it. So I needed players that were very, very good at keeping hold of possession, because I just needed to keep it away from Arsenal, because I knew if they got it, they'd keep it away from me. But Podolski whips in across here, flicked on well, and Carlos Bacca with the rather extravagant falling away scissor kick, but fortunately for me, it didn't cause me any issues whatsoever. And then Zafane and Panilla were trying to keep hold of possession, and we work it into Georgiev here, but then Aaron Ramsey comes through the back of him. Not the worst challenge you've ever seen in the world, but the referee is going to issue a red card. Now, we played Chelsea at home, one of the other big sides in the division, and there was a red card in that game, and it worked in our favour, and we were able to get a decent result there, and they only got a draw, Chelsea, from a last-minute equaliser. But as you can see, Ramsey comes through the back of Georgiev, so in 2 games against the bigger sides, the referee has whopped out a red card, one for Ramirez, although it was 2 bookable offences for Ramirez, has to be pointed out, and a straight red for Aaron Ramsey for that 2-footed lunge from behind. So were we going to get the same sort of level of opportunities in this one as we did against Chelsea and come away with a decent result? Jenkins Chikoe looks as if the keeper wasn't going to react to that Wojciech Szczesny until the very last minute, but he does do enough to tip it over the top of the bar. We'll have a corner. Jenkins is going to stand it up into the middle. There's Paul Downing, good header from him, but straight at Wojciech Szczesny, unfortunately. So Arsenal into the second half were actually going to keep the ball very well indeed. Obviously that's what they're renowned for, Arsenal, and they're going to do that quite nicely. Lovely back heel from Danny Welbeck there. Podolski's going to feed it into Kieran Gibbs on his right foot, so I didn't feel any pressure there to try and get a tackle in. But, well, that finish came out of nowhere. Kieran Gibbs, the left back, on his right foot, smashes it off the underside of the bar with a rocket in the 56th minute or so. So 10 minutes into the second half, we found ourselves 1-0 down against 10 men, and Arsenal just kept the ball away from me. They almost played better possession football with 10 men than they did with 11. Diaby having a good shot, a great save by Galese, and Panilla just gets there to get it off the line, and then another top save by Galese again as the ball dropped free to another Arsenal player. But they're going to have a corner, still on the attacks here, Arsenal, still on the offensive. Santi comes short for it, going to stand it up into the box, not really too sure what the goalkeeper was doing there at all, and Carlos Bacca with the header makes it Arsenal 2, Cambridge United 0, unfortunately. So the 10 men have a 2-goal advantage. We're less than 10 minutes from time now, trying to get one back if we can. Panilla breaking down the right hand side, stands it up beautifully, once eventually getting it past Kieran Gibbs, stands it up here, brilliant header away from the goal, but Georgiev gets it again. Good shot, and I don't know how Wojciech Szczesny has made that save. I really don't. It was behind him by 2 or 3 yards, and he's thrown himself at it. We could have gotten a draw out of that one, but
Arsenal are obviously an extremely good side. Even with 10 men, we only get a 2-0 defeat. So unfortunately, we have to settle for 5th in the Barclays Premier League right now. But West Ham could even close to within 2 points of us if they win their game in hand as well. But it's very tight around about those Europa League spots, as you can see. And obviously, the top of the table is quite tight as well, with Spurs and Arsenal and Liverpool kind of a point further back per position you go down. We're now 3 points away from the Champions League spots, which I'm not expecting to kind of contend for this season. I'd be happy with the top half finish, but we started off very, very well, and recently we've kind of, our form has wavered a little bit, and we've picked up a draw here and a defeat there, and we'll have to wait and see whether we can consolidate in the next couple of episodes and try and get ourselves some decent results again. But that is going to bring today's episode to a close, guys, so thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you could be so kind, that'd be absolutely superb, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. Check the channel page for anything you may have missed over the past few days, but for now, that's going to bring today's episode to a close, so I will see you next time.